So I'm out here today, and I wanted to share my testimony of how I was saved, and I also want to invite other people to do the same, sign them in, and post them here. I don't see too many people talking about how they were saved. I see a lot of silliness, of course, on YouTube, and a lot of goofiness, and the rest. But the Lord kind of laid it on my heart. He said, just led me to come out and make this video, and I've been kind of going, what day do I do it? When do I do it? So it's Sunday, and I'm doing it. So I kind of want to might skip all over the place and pray it up, and I've asked God to give me the wisdom to just share what's happened in my life. So I am on a cross-country ski trail in a suburb of Detroit, believe it or not. And I guess I'll start with being very young and living a very careless lifestyle. But I want to point out that, of course, everyone is a sinner from birth, and it doesn't matter where you come from or what you do or that. But I spent a lot of my younger years experimenting in the 70s. You can use your imagination there. And used to watch, or rather I used to go over to a friend of mine's house and watch their house while they were gone. And they always had a Bible there. And I'd smoke a joint and I'd read that Bible. It made absolutely no sense to me at all. And I just would continue to go over there time and time and look at that Bible and see some of their religious artifacts, shall we say. And it would kind of be boring. So, but I was searching back then. That's when I really remember kind of my first searchings, even though there were earlier times, obviously, that I had inklings that, yeah, there is a God, and there has to be. Look where we are. Tell me there's not a God. Anyways, so at my work, I would see that, well, actually I had a preacher that they hired, probably as a good luck charm, I'm sure, but they did hire one, and he would stab a word here and there, or a verse here and there, and never really grabbed on to anything, and continued living like I was living, and really didn't care. And then ran into some other people, and they were like, "Oh, we're going to be praying for you." I'm like, "Okay, whatever, go for it." And I continue living in my way. Me, I'm God. Nobody's going to tell me what to do. I'm going to live life the way I want to live it. And I did. And at that point, I get a little winded out here because it is a little rough walking in the snow, but it's definitely worth it. So, but at that point, still really didn't have any inkling of who God was or what He wanted me to do, or just looking for a path here. So I can remember one of my first times in a church, a real small church, happened to be the preacher's church at the workplace, and he invited me, and it was a little Baptist church, and real small. Like the Wednesday night service was probably 7 people, I think. And I came in there, long hair, and I'm sure my clothes were raggedy, so to speak. And I'll never forget it, because I sat next to this girl and she just kind of moved. I'm like, man, I hope this ain't what Christianity's all about, because I really don't want this. So I left there and kind of saddened, but yet, just confused. So that was my first real experience in a church. My next experience would actually be in the same church, but with a different pastor. And this guy was a little more charismatic, and I use that word in its fullest, not speaking in tongues and hooping and hollering. But went to that church one time, and I was like, oh wow, this is pretty cool. And I kind of said a little prayer, and I can remember leaving there, and I remember picking up a hitchhiker later on that night, and man, I was just like, oh, I'm saved, and you gotta be saved. Jesus is coming. The end of the world is coming. You best, be saved. And I dropped him off. Probably went home and smoked another joint or whatever. Nothing had changed. I had said a couple of words, and it was it. So life would go on. 1983, I would come across an ad on TV, and it was for this book called The Power of Living. Still have it to this day. And it really wasn't real deep or anything. It was just real subtle. It had some football people in there. It had other people in there that had accepted Jesus. And I thought, well, it's pretty cool and all. So I read the book and found it kind of interesting. And I thought, you know what?